some people still underestimate me. They see my past and they think that's all I am. They hear adult industry and think I'm less than. They don't see the coach. They don't see the healer. They don't see the mother. They don't see the producer. They don't see the goddess. And you know what I say to that? Thank God they don't. Thank God they don't, because those people are not for me. They're not for my community. We're not in the same space. This Sunday morning, I was cleaning and I had this conversation with my husband about words, about how we allow words to determine our worth. And one of the words just kept coming up to me. This one word just kept coming to me, and it was underestimated. Underestimated. We talk about being underestimated like it's a wound, like it diminishes us. You know, like they underestimated me, and they did. They didn't see my value. They thought that I was less than. And then we carry that. We carry the weight of being underestimated like it's proof that we are not enough. But this Sunday, there was something that shifted. And I realized, what if being underestimated isn't a wound? What if it's a shield? What if being underestimated is your protection? And I had to sit down with it. Right there in my kitchen, dishes half done. And I wrote this. I said, underestimated is your protection. Those that don't see your value isn't for you. Concentrate on those that understand and overstand you, that your estimation doesn't matter. Your actions, your growth, your ability to come into a room and make the room better. Your intentions, your heart, your spirit, and the words that you possess is your power. And as I wrote this, I heard, this is your June series. This is your June series. So today we are reframing underestimated. We are reframing the word underestimated, not as a wound, but as a weapon, as protection, and as a blessing. So my beautiful people, let me welcome you properly to the show. Welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am so glad that you are here. As we continue to transform in life, so does this podcast. In Season 5, we're moving differently, more intentional, more action, less learning, more doing, less waiting, and more living. This is a space where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. We don't just discuss transformation, we live it. Every episode is an invitation to do the work with me, not just listen to me talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself intentionally is a foundation of true transformation. So get ready, get your journal, get your pen, because in Season 5, we're doing the work together. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people. Well, before we dive into today's teaching, we're going to ground ourselves with a 60-second guided meditation. And today we are seeing our shield, and we are understanding underestimation as protection. All right. So wherever you are right now, I want you to close your eyes if you can and get comfortable. Place one hand on your heart and take a deep breath in through your nose. Now slowly release. And I want you to visualize this shield around you, a protective shield. This shield is made of every time someone underestimated you, every time they didn't see your value, every time they thought that you were less than. That shield The shield protected you from the wrong people. Inhale. Exhale. Now I want you to say, thank God they didn't see my value. They weren't for me. Inhale. Exhale. Now say, those who underestimated me, protect me from wasting my time. Inhale. Exhale. Now say, I am grateful for the shield. I am grateful for the protection. One more breath in. Release. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and let's begin. All right, my beautiful people. All right, so let me tell you what happened on Sunday morning. Let me tell you what happened on Sunday morning. So I was cleaning. Which I usually do on Saturdays, but Saturday I wasn't feeling too good, so I, opted to do it on Sunday. And to be very honest, I have been feeling stuck. You know that feeling where you kind of know what is coming, where it's coming from, but you're not quite sure. But you ready to ride it out to just see what it really is. And you think, is that a part of blockage? That is a part of blockage. So remember last month when we cleaned out our closet, we got rid of the things that no longer align right. But for some reason, I still felt stuck, like a little stifled. And I was thinking, why? Why? I mean, we talked about living in the present and not the past or the future. But unfortunately, sometimes we do find ourselves stuck there. No matter how many times that we have given away things or let things go or kept. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. There is something that's going on, that is more that's going on. And so it's like I had to do a reassessment of me, of myself, and all of my life, and truly understand who I am and what power that I accumulated over my 53 years of living. Through my experiences, I have an amazing family. I have an amazing business that I love. I'm getting my health back and I'm healthy, post explant surgery. And I have a partner who loves me and respects me for who I am, for me. So now it's totally different what I had, totally different from what people said I deserve. And as I was washing dishes and talking to my husband about him, and he was talking about him having a bad day, about the words that we use and how important it is and how we allow them to affect us, right? And right there, I had to stop. And I had to sit down because this word just kept popping up to me. And so I had to write this word, underestimated. And I remember talking to him, and I got the app coming out. I have so many different things coming out. And, I have a season of self-love, Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap, and as a coach, a, a life coach, as a trans self-love coach, a relationship coach. And when I think about a lot of the posts that I put up, and most of the posts I put up is about self-love, it's about growing, it's about changing your mindset. And I know a lot of times when I put those posts up, there are a lot of comments that's under there that does not speak of who I am personally. And I know we talk about, and that's something I read every day, I listen to it every day, is the 4 agreements. And then I have to remind myself, even though I know of my truth, sometimes those comments up under it stings a little bit. Or you shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have A, B, C, and D because you did A, B, C, and D. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there are a lot of people in this world that are told what and who they should be just because people see them in that limited box. And when that word underestimated came to me that morning washing the dishes, I said, wow, I have to look at this word underestimated different. That word underestimated was not for me. It wasn't to say that I wasn't worthy of or my self-worth. That's not what that is. I said, what if that word underestimated is your protection? What if that word was your protection? And before I knew it, I was sitting down at the kitchen counter and I started writing. I started writing this poem. It was underestimated is your protection. I said that those that don't see your value, that there isn't for you, that they're not for you. Then I will concentrate on those that understand and overstand you. That your estimation, that it doesn't matter. What matters is your actions. What matters is your growth. What matters is your ability to come into a room and make that room better. Your intentions, your heart, your spirit, and the words that you possess is your power. And as I sat there and I wrote that, all I heard was, this is your next series. This is your June series. Not a thought, not an idea, but a clear knowing that this is what you need to talk about, girl. This is what needs to be taught. So let's break it down. We've been looking at underestimated all wrong. We've been treating it like a wound when it's actually a shield. And let me explain. You see, the old way, the underestimated equal wound. This is how that we've been thinking about it. This is how I've been thinking about it. You see, they underestimated me. They didn't see my value. So then that means that I'm not enough. That is what my old thinking of what underestimated was. See, they thought I was less than. So then that's supposed to equal to maybe I am less than. This is my old thinking of what underestimated was for me. And a lot of you. That they didn't believe in me. In the old version of what I thought underestimated was because they didn't believe in me. I was thinking, well, maybe I'm not worthy of belief. And see, and what we do, we carry it like a wound, like proof that we're not enough. But on a Sunday morning, as I was washing dishes, as I was talking with my husband on the phone, and this poem came to me, there is a new way to think of what to make this word underestimate feel to you, or what that meaning is for me. And that underestimated for me is a shield. We're going to reframe it. You see, they underestimated me. What it equals to me is that they reveal to me on who they are, that they're not my people. The new way of thinking of what underestimated is to me is that when they didn't see my value, for me, that was thank God that they're not for me. You see, The new reframe version of what underestimated is for me is this is when they didn't believe in me. It equals to that's their limitation. And what equals as protection from me wasting my time. You see, when you look at it like this is your shield. This becomes your protection. And we ask why being underestimated is your protection. Well, let me tell you why being underestimated is actually your protection. Because one, what protection does is it filters out the wrong people. You see, when someone underestimates you, they're showing you who they are. They're showing you that I can't see your value, that I can recognize your power, and that I'm not equipped to be in your space. And you know what that is? That's a gift. That is a gift because now you know. You don't have to waste time. You don't have to waste energy or any emotional labor on that someone who can't see you. What it does is they filter them out. They filter themselves out when they underestimate you. And second, protection, it keeps your strategy hidden. It keeps your strategy hidden. You see, when people underestimate you, they're not watching you closely. They're not studying your moves. They're not preparing for your success. They're not trying to block you because they don't think that you're a threat. And that gives you space to build. They give you space to grow. They give you space to strategize your next move. They give you space to rise. And so by the time they realize what you're doing, you're already there. You are already there. And let's talk about 3, what protection does for you. It protects your peace. It protects your peace. So when people underestimate you, they don't ask much of you. They don't put expectations on you. They don't pressure you. They don't demand that you prove yourself. They leave you alone. And that protects your peace. That protects your energy and your mental health. So then you're not performing for people who can't see you anyway. And then protection for what it does, it reveals who your real community is. It reveals on who your real community is. You see, when people underestimate you, it makes it crystal clear on who your real community is. Your real community. They overstand you. They overstand you. They see you. They recognize your value. And when everyone else is underestimating you, your real community is the ones that's still there, that's still believing, that's still supportive. And those are your people. The underestimation from everyone else, that just made it easier to see who truly has your back. That's all that does. So now what I want to do right now, I want to go back to this poem and I want to break it down each line. Each line. That very first line, underestimated is your protection. To be underestimated is your protection. It's not a wound. It's not a problem. It's not something that you fix. It's your protection. It's a shield that will filter out the wrong people. It will hide your strategy. It will protect your peace. And it reveals your real community. So I want y'all to say this with me. Underestimated is my protection. Underestimated is my protection. And then my next line, those that don't see your value isn't for you. Period. End of story. If they can't see your value, they're not for you. They're not for your business. They're not for your life. They're not for your journey. They are not for your community. They're just not your people. And you know what? That is okay because you're not for them either. And then my next line, line 3, concentrate on those that understand and overstand you, that your estimation doesn't matter. Overstand. Not understand, but overstand. Overstand means that they see the full picture, that they see your journey, that they see your power, that they see your becoming. And those are the people. Those are the people. And then this, your estimation doesn't matter to them. Not your estimation of yourself, not of other people's estimation of you, because they overstand you and they see you fully. Those are the people that you can concentrate on those people. And then line 4, the next one, your actions, your growth, your ability to come into a room and make the room better. This is your power. Not what they think of you, not their estimation of you, but your actions of what you do, your growth on how you evolve, your presence on how you show up and make the space better just by being in it. That's your power. And then my next line, line 5, your intentions, your heart, your spirit in the words that you possess is your power. Not their estimation of your power, your intentions, what you're creating, what you're building toward, your heart, the love you bring, the care you give, your spirit, the energy you carry, the light you shine, your words, what you speak, what you create, and what you teach. That's your power. That is your power. And no amount of underestimation. Did I say that? No amount of underestimated can take that away from you. They can't take it away from you. So what they underestimate you thank God that they do. You thank God that they do. So let me say this clearly. So what they underestimate you, so what? So what they underestimate you, thank God they do. Because that means that they filter themselves out. They're not watching your moves closely. They're not demanding your energy. And they reveal that you're not their community. They're not in your community and you're not in theirs. That's protection. That is protection. So let's talk about who I am now, the power that I've accumulated. Because that is what matters. What matters is who you are now. You see, me at 53 years old and over these 53 years of living, I accumulated power. 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 And not because I had a perfect past, not because I made perfect choices, not because that I believed what society says or how they approve, and not because I lived by life society or what they approved of me, but because I survived, I transformed, and I built. You see, I have an amazing family. I have a business and career that I love, from coaching, podcasting, producing, writing. My health is back. A partner who loves and respects me. Totally different from what I had before. Totally different from what people said that I deserve. And you know what? Some people still underestimate me. They see my past and they think that's all I am. They hear adult industry and think I'm less than. They don't see the coach. They don't see the healer. They don't see the mother. They don't see the producer. They don't see the goddess. And you know what I say to that? Thank God they don't. Thank God they don't, because those people are not for me. They're not for my community. We're not in the same space. And their underestimation of me, it protects me from wasting my time with them. So that's why I had to reframe, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. I want to talk about reframing the words that are used against us, reframing the words that are used against you. You know, we talk about being impeccable with our words, but sometimes we have to reframe the words that are used against us to help us heal and grow, because everyone's healing doesn't look the same. For some people, underestimated will always be a wound. But for you, but for me, for us, we reframing it. Underestimated, to us, that equals protection. Underestimated, for us, it means it's a shield that God blessed us with. Underestimated for us means that revealing who's not for us. So now we can concentrate on who is. That's the reframe. So now is your turn. It's your turn to reframe your underestimated. I want you to think about the time that someone underestimated you. The old way that you thought about it. They underestimated me. They didn't see my value, and that hurt. That's the old way. But the new way to reframe it is, they underestimated me. Thank God. Thank God they revealed that they're not for me. And that's protection. That's protection. And I want you to feel that shift when you reframe it, when you think about it like that. I want you to feel that same shift that I felt that Sunday morning. When I said, thank God that they underestimated me, that was protection for me, that shifted my whole mindset. That one word shifted. All right, so now let's talk about our reflection questions for this week, all right? So I want y'all to journal these. I want you to journal these questions. All right, question 1. When have I been underestimated, and by who? And question 2, how did I use to see that word underestimated? How did I see it? Did I see it as a wound or as a proof that I'm not enough? How did I see that word? Question 3, How can I reframe that underestimate as a protection? How did they filter themselves? They revealed who they were, and they're not your people. Question 4, who in my life overstands me? Who sees me of full value? And question 5, what power have I accumulated over my years of living? What have I survived? What have I built? What have I transformed? Those are our 5 reflection questions for this week. All right. All right. So here's our closing affirmation for today. And please repeat after me. Underestimated is my protection. Those who don't see my value are not for me. I concentrate on those who overstand me. My actions, my growth, my presence is my power. My intentions, my heart, my spirit, my words is my power. Thank God they underestimate me, because I am not for them either. I am protected. I am powerful. I am seen by those who matter. I am reclaimed. I am unashamed. And I am unstoppable. All right. All right, my beautiful people. So for our closing words today, I want you to think about reframing the word underestimated. Reframe that word, not as a wound, but as a shield, as a protection, as a blessing. So what they underestimate you say, thank God they do. So what they underestimate you, thank God that they do. So on Action Wednesday, we're going to identify who overstands you and build your community intentionally. So until then, my beautiful people, I want you to remember that underestimated is your protection, that those who don't see your value, that they aren't for you, that they're not for you. This is your girly goddess, Nyomi Banks, reminding you to thank God. Thank God that they don't see your value. It protects you from wasting your time. So be good to one another, in yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Love yourself first so you can love others well, all right? Have an amazing day. Have a good one. If you got something from today's episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. And come back every Monday and Wednesday, because we are doing the work in this season. I love you. I'll see you next time.